Hi, everyone. Welcome to March 14th, March's office hours for Calendar Anything. I am joined by Lena Sin, our Senior Director of Product Management, and my name is Janelle Bromberg, Senior Director of App Exchange Sales and Alliances. We meet here second Thursday of every month to go over our office hours, to go over our latest releases, make sure that you guys see a demo, know what the latest and greatest is from Calendar Anything. And also it's an opportunity for any of our prospects or clients to hop on and ask questions without having to submit a case and have like a screen share type of experience with us. So we can dive a little bit deeper into some of those questions and possibly features and functionality that you may want to see in Calendar Anything that may not be released just yet. So I will check one more time to make sure nobody else is hopping in, and we will go ahead and get to our agenda for today. So again, welcome. We have our March newsletter, which drops next week. So you'll be getting an email. Please, if you are not receiving our emails, I'm going to guess if you're here and you got this email that you're getting our March newsletters or our newsletters in general. If you're not, or you have somebody within your organization that needs to receive them, please reach out to us. We'll make sure that they are getting those emails. Also, make sure you check your spam folder. Sometime it ends up in there. It is a monthly newsletter, and the newsletter comes out usually. The bread and butter of it is our release notes, and making sure you have a link to upgrade to the latest version of Calendar Anything LWC. There's also usually some information around a customer success story or how other clients are using Calendar Anything, so something else to check out there as well. Big thing we want to go over today is our latest release that just came out a few weeks ago. It's 1.104. And I'm going to have Lena go ahead and share her screen. And she's going to go over a few things. One, she's going to go over multiple groupings that are now available in Swimlane and Day Grouping. So it's kind of a different way to filter, but I'll have Lena get into it. And there's also additional options for conditional coloring as well that we're going to talk about. It's very, very exciting. Again, most of these things that are coming out in our new requests, or excuse me, our new functionality are requests that we're getting from clients. So please be open and honest with us. Let us know what you're looking to see in the product. We're happy to look at it and see if it's possible and add it to backlog. So please keep that in mind. And then we also have a refresher on child relation fields and how you're able to view them in a pop-up or show them in additional fields. So you can have it as a glance. You can have it at a glance. So something else to keep in mind there that Lena is going to be demoing. But before we hop right into there, I just want to do one more reminder to everybody that's on the call. If you have any pointed questions, if you're interested in how to do something, or you're not quite sure functionality, or can Calendar Anything do XYZ, please post it into chat. We will get to them at the end of the call and make sure that we have all of your questions answered. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Lena to walk us through the latest release of Calendar Anything version 1.104.
Thank you, Janelle. And before I hop into our demo org to show all of the things that Janelle mentioned, if you want to be featured in our newsletter, definitely let us know. We would love to highlight your success story with Calendar Anything and let the world know how you're using the calendar, and see if there are any other clients that might want to use it in a similar way. So if you're willing to share your success stories with us, definitely reach out to myself or Janelle, and we'll talk to you, and we'll make sure that your use case is also featured in one of our upcoming newsletters. So let me share my screen, and we can start with our. Can everyone see my screen?
I can, Lena.
Okay. I'm actually going to turn off my camera for this bandwidth issues. Okay, so we're going to start with our multiple grouping options for day view with grouping and Swimlane. So I'm currently in my day view, and I have my team events calendar enabled, and I'm grouping this calendar by by a public group. So I'm saying I want to see all of the events that I have based on this public group, and this an executive team public group only has 3 members. So I can view my groupings this way. But let's say I want to also include my sales rep from the East team. So right now I can select this, and it will add another public group here. And when I click out, you'll see that my list has expanded. So now I have additional people here. So previously, if you wanted to add the grouping or view the grouping by different option, you can only select one at a time. Right now, we're extending that capability, and you can use multiple public groups or custom groupings as well. So let's say you have a public group and a user can be added to several public groups. We will remove the duplicate. So let's say if Unique is a member of both, she will only appear once and will be able to see data relevant to Unique in her column. So the same thing is applicable to Swimlane. I'm going to quickly cover here. Swimlane, you'll see I have my East and Executive groups enabled. I can remove one. So let's say I want this, from that. Now I will see that the list has reduced. So this is was a request from a client that we were able to add. In the future, we'll be extending this functionality to Gantt as well. But for right now, it's only available in Swimlane and Bayview with Grouping. Moving on, let's highlight or talk about the new option for conditional coloring. Let me switch here to our month view. So here we're looking at our opportunities calendar. And again, this was a request from a client. They wanted the ability to conditionally color based on a criteria where the condition is in between something. So let's say in this case we're using the amount field and we're saying all opportunities with the amount between 10,000 and 20,000 highlight in red. This can also be applicable to things like quantity. So for example, show me all records where quantities between 1 and 2 or priorities between 1 and 4. So instead of having multiple kind of conditions selected, now we have this in between kind of an option here. So for 10,000 to 20,000, if I go back to my calendar, you'll see that it's now displayed here in the navigation, and also all of my red ones are now highlighted here on the side with this color here. So small little change, but enables our clients to be more efficient in how they use the calendar and how they perform their day-to-day business activities. The next thing I want to go over, and this is more of a refresher for the admins, in the calendaring saying admin settings, we have a section here for child relation fields. So what this is for is, and let me cancel from here for a second. So inside calendaring is saying you can always set up a calendar where you can show related lists in our related list tab. So for the opportunity calendar, here we have the opportunity product and the opportunity team member tabs where I can view all the products associated with this opportunity, and also if there are any opportunity team members, I can also view them here. So on the actual opportunity, it looks like this, and you guys are familiar with Salesforce standard page layout. So we have our related list here on the side, and this is my product. This is my team members. So within the calendar, we also have an ability to display this information in the general detail pop-up, as well as a field on the card itself as an additional field. So at a glance, you can immediately see that, you know, Barbara and Mark here are our team members, opportunity team members. And if I click into the detail pop-up, I can also see my products here in a table format, just in the general tab here. So let's go over on how that setup works. So I have two examples here. We'll review this. So in the object, you select which object you want to use as your base object. So my calendar is built on the opportunity object. So I'm using my opportunity here. And if I expand my list here, this will give me a list of all the related objects that we have as an option for the opportunity. So I have my opportunity team member selected here. I can click on a little pencil to edit. I create a label for this field. So essentially create almost like a virtual custom field within calendar anything. So I'm gonna call this opportunity team member. I have an option how I want to sort this. So if, let's say, I want to sort by role or a title, I can do that. So here I'm sorting by name. I can set a limit to how many I want to show within the detail pop-up or as additional fields. And here I can specify which fields from the related list I want to expose. So here I'm saying I want to see the name and the role. We can also add a filter criteria. So let's say I only want to see opportunity team members who are executive sponsors. So I can add a filter criteria here as well easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and click save. Let's look at the other example here. This one is set up a little bit differently. So here we're saying we want to show products. We're just going to leave the sorting to be defaulted. But I want to show this as a table. So not comma separated values, but rather I want to see it as a table. So I can show grid. I can also optionally show field labels if I want to. And here I have selected 3 fields to display. And again, we can add filter criteria if we need to. So I'm gonna click save. So now when I go and edit this calendar, I can go to details pop-up, and here you'll see that I have my product selected as a field. So it will appear in a list of available products once it's set up in the admin section. And you just bring it over to selected, just like you would do with any other field. And the same thing here in display additional fields. So I'm adding opportunity team member as an additional field option. I'm also adding a checkbox, which means that this field is now searchable, right? So when I go back to my calendar, I can now use my calendar global search if I want to search by the any of the fields that I have added as additional fields here. So I'm gonna say I want to see all of the all the records that have executive sponsors. So if I start typing here, you'll see that these 2 opportunities have executive sponsors and the team members, and that will whittle down the data to only show me those records. So clicking inside the record, this one has products. This is how it's displayed in the table format. You can see all the products, their code and list price here. So that's how it works. We find it to be very useful, again, to see more data at a glance without having to click into the record detail or navigate to the record detail page. Very useful if you need to expand your search capabilities within calendar anything. So that's all I have for our show and tell today. Let's see if we have any questions about information we just saw or any other questions. Let's open the floor.
And you're more than welcome to take yourselves off mute if you would like to just speak out loud, or you can type it into chat. Either way works for us. So, and this can be anything. It can be over what Lena just went over. It can be over general housekeeping questions, or just questions you have about features and functionality in general. So please feel free to use this time as you would like. Let us know if you have any questions.
So while you guys thinking, just wanna add that the 1.104 release is available on the App Exchange. You can upgrade your sandboxes and production orgs from the App Exchange. We also have release notes published on our website. They also include links to upgrade. So if you need to, if you would like to upgrade your sandbox or production, there are links for the upgrade in the release notes as well.
And also just to keep in mind, everything we demo on these office hours is Calendar Anything LWC. So if by any chance you're still on the classic version and you are interested in upgrading to Calendar Anything LWC, please reach out to the team. We are happy to help with migration and getting new licenses assigned for LWC and everything it entails. So please reach out to us if you're still on that classic version. And if you're not on the latest LWC version, please update. And we, of course, always suggest to test in a full copy sandbox first. Lena, I don't see that anybody has any questions.
Oh, I think Jolene
I
just
was
went.
just gonna
Oh,
tell you
perfect.
that the it's working much better, much faster. It's loading faster since the update.
Ah, yeah.
So that's really good. And
Good.
I'm probably going to be purchasing a few more licenses here shortly.
Yay, amazing. Love that. Thank you so much,
And
Julie.
we're also using it for now, not just our occupancy, but we're now also using it for campaigns, our marketing campaign calendar.
Yes,
So I
very
basically cloned one that we had, and then I modified it. I was able to modify it based on all your instruction that you have on your website, which worked. Plus, I remember you showing me, but it's working really, really well. It's loading much better. So thank you.
absolutely.
So that's
Thanks. I was just going to say, Jolene, thank you so much for sharing that. There's a lot of different ways we can make sure that your data loads more quickly. So please, if you're having issues where, oh my gosh, the load time just isn't where we want it to be, please reach out to us. We're happy to go through those best practices to get the load a little bit faster. So thank you so much, Jolene, for sharing that.
A plus one, Jolene, because I love hearing different uses of this very slick calendar. And also, Janelle, music to my ears. Our last calendaring system, I kid you not, it took 8 minutes to load a page. Right? That's an appropriate reaction and not the one that they had. So seeing this move quick and the flexibility, delighted, like 2 months in.
Oh, I love to hear that. And I will just go ahead and throw this out here as a shameless plug. If you guys have not left us a review on the App Exchange, there is no greater compliment that you can give us than a 5-star review on the App Exchange. So please, please do that. And just as an FYI, it doesn't have anything but your name. It doesn't show what company you're associated with. So just something to keep in mind if you're a little bit weary about logo and brand and things like that. We completely understand. It only shows your name on the App Exchange. So thank you so much for your feedback, Carly and Jolene. We so appreciate it. If we don't have any other questions, comments, we can wrap early today, but we'd love to show you answer some questions, show you around if you have anything today.
I think the only last question I have, and I don't think if you guys even would know this, but we, as you remember, maybe we export it to Congo reports. And honestly, that is not easy to create a new Congo report when we create a new calendar. So for those that don't know, we use the Gantt view for our business, and we're loading an enormous amount of data into these calendars, and we segment it by region now. So, but to add a new region and a new calendar, I mean, I don't think that has to do with you guys, but I don't know if there's something maybe in the future you could come up with that would make it easier. And Conga is not very much help at all. Like, it's terrible. So, but it's a good product, but it's just terrible with regard to their instructions. So if you know of any resources that might be able to help me with that.
And I'm going to leave that to Lena. Lena's a lot more well-versed in that than me, but I'm sure she's probably writing down a note to herself now to look into it a little bit. We'll get back with you, Jolene.
Okay.
If there's
Thank you.
anything we can provide in that front.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Janelle.
Any other questions, comments? Seems like it was a short little office hours today. Please, we of course, as I said, I'm a broken record. We absolutely encourage you to make sure you're on the latest and greatest version of Calendar Anything. So please go on the App Exchange and install the latest version. And like I said, we always suggest you first test in a full copy sandbox, full transparency. But if we don't have any other questions or concerns or anything we want to chat about today, I will let everyone have some time back on their calendars. Do keep in mind, everyone will get an email regardless if you attended or not. It'll be in your inbox tomorrow morning. It'll have the recording of this session. And then we're going to have an April office hours. I will let you know right now, we are not planning on having a May office hours, but we will be having a webinar probably sometime in June. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, make sure if you're not receiving our newsletters that you let us know so you can get the newsletter notification, and you have release notes and the links to install and all that all in one place in your email. So perfect. It was such a pleasure to speak with everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you next month.